Hello, future travelers. Welcome back to Legalopolis. Friends, if you are planning a trip to the United States, there are some essential laws that you must know before you go. From immigration and customs regulations to laws regarding alcohol, drugs, and firearms, understanding the legal landscape can make your visit safer, smoother, and definitely more enjoyable. In this video, we'll go through some of the important laws and regulations every travel should be aware of before setting foot in the United States. So, whether you are a tourist, student, or a business traveler, stay tuned to learn everything you need to know before traveling to the United States. So, let's get started. Let's first look at the immigration laws. It is important that when you are traveling to the United States, or for that matter any country, it is mandatory to possess a valid travel document for entry and exit from the country. That means you must have a valid passport and a valid and appropriate visa to the United States. If you don't possess a valid passport and visa specific to your travel needs, then you could be arrested and deported back, as it will be presumed that you are trying to enter the United States or exit the United States illegally. Another important law is as regards the duration of your stay. Overstaying your visa is a serious offense. It is illegal to stay beyond the dates of your visa. While you are in the United States, all immigrants who are above 18 years of age must always carry a valid identification document and a valid visa at all times. And friends, as I've stated in all of my videos, honesty is the best policy. Never lie on your immigration application, nor during interactions with the immigration or custom officials. Lying on immigration applications can have serious consequences. Now friends, let's look at some important customs regulation. Well, the first question whenever you are traveling, how much money can you bring into the United States? You can freely bring any amount of money into the United States or take as much money as you want outside of the United States. But this amount should not exceed $10,000. If it exceeds $10,000, you must report it to the CBP, that is Customs and Border Protection. You can either report it online through the FinCEN 105 currency reporting site or by requesting a paper copy of the currency reporting form, that is FinCEN 105, from a CBP officer. Now friends, the definition of money includes various monetary instruments such as coins, currency, traveler's checks, money orders, negotiable instruments, or investment securities in bearer form. Non-compliance with reporting requirements can result in severe penalties. Then friends, it is illegal to carry prohibited items and bring in restricted items without proper approvals. For example, it's against the law to import items into the United States that contains dog or cat fur. Prohibited items are those items which are forbidden by law, such as dangerous toys or illegal substances, bush meat, or cars that don't protect their occupants in a crash. Restricted items are those items which can be carried but require special permits from federal agencies before bringing them inside the United States. For example, firearms or certain kinds of fruits and vegetables. So friends, I highly recommend visiting the CBP website before making any decisions about bringing items into the United States. Now friends, when it comes to medicines, please only bring what you personally require. Ensure you carry a doctor's note for any controlled substances or medications you bring along. The FDA permits foreign nationals to transport or possess a 90-day supply of medication. Now, if your stay exceeds 90 days, then you can arrange for additional medication to be sent to you in the United States. However, ensure proper documentation is provided when receiving medication by mail or courier, proving that it's for your personal use only during your visit to the United States. These documents must include a copy of your visa and passport, a registered medical practitioner's letter, that is a doctor's letter, and a copy of the prescription in English. Remember, it is illegal to share prescribed medication with other people, as these medicines, when taken without supervision, can pose potential risk and complications for the person who's taking them. Therefore, as a rule of thumb, only medications that are legally prescribed in the United States can be imported for personal use. And also be aware that possessing certain substances may violate state laws. Always refer to FDA's and CBP's websites to ensure compliance with state and federal regulations. Now, friends, it is important to note here that each state has its own regulations concerning the importation of fruits, vegetables, alcohol, and therefore, before bringing any items into the United States, be sure to check the specific rules of the state you are visiting. Now, friends, let's look at the laws relating to alcohol consumption in the United States. Now, as per National Minimum Drinking Age Act, in the United States, legal drinking age is 21 years or older. Being caught with alcohol underage or providing it to someone under 21 can result in arrest and fines. Public drinking also carries the risk of fines. So, when purchasing alcohol, a valid government-issued photo ID such as a passport is typically required. It's crucial to adhere to these regulations, as using fake ID is against the law and can lead to legal consequences. Now let's look at laws regarding smoking. Now, in the US, as per Tobacco 21 or T21 legislation, the law makes it illegal for a retailer to sell any tobacco product to anyone who is under 21 years of age. Now, examples of tobacco products are cigarettes, smokeless tobacco, hookah tobacco, cigars, electronic nicotine delivery systems, e-liquids, etc. As for smoking bans, there is no federal law, but various states have implemented their own regulations. Many states and cities have prohibited smoking in workplaces, restaurants, and bars, covering almost 80% of the US population. While statewide bans may not exist in some areas, localities often impose stricter restrictions. Therefore, it is essential to check specific regulations in your location to avoid potential fines or misunderstandings. Or simply ask someone. They'll be able to guide you in this regard. Now, friends, for those of us who enjoy driving, let's delve into driving laws in the United States. Number 1, valid driving permit. You need a valid driver's license to drive in the United States. And therefore, as a non-citizen and a non-permanent resident, you would normally require an international driving permit in addition to a valid driving permit from your home country to drive in the United States. Now, friends, different states have different requirements, and therefore it's essential to check the specific requirements of each state you wish to travel through on their DMV website, that is Department of Motor Vehicles website, to ensure compliance with local regulations. Number 2, traffic laws. Drivers must adhere to traffic signs, signals, and posted speed limits on roadways. Failure to comply with these regulations can lead to traffic citations or fines. Unlike Germany, which has freeways with no speed limits, the United States has specific speed limit requirements. Speeding tickets are among the most common violations in the United States and worldwide. There are 2 types of speed laws. First, specific speed limits are set, such as, let's take 25 miles per hour in school zones. Drivers exceeding even slightly above these limits can face prosecution. The second laws are those where drivers are expected to exercise discretion and caution while driving. For instance, if the posted speed limit in a school zone is 25 miles per hour and it's dismissal time with many children crossing the roads, driving at the same 25 miles per hour could result in a speeding ticket, as it is unsafe, reckless, and may lead to accidents. Number 3, seat belts. Most states have laws requiring the use of seat belts by all occupants of a vehicle. Failure to wear a seat belt can result in fines. Number 4. Child safety seats. Now, if you're traveling with small children, please note that laws here require the use of appropriate child safety seats or booster seats for younger children depending on their age, weight, and height. Then comes driving while intoxicated, that is DWI, or driving under the influence, DUI. Now friends, in US it is illegal to operate a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Now the legal blood alcohol concentration, that is back limit, is typically 0.08% for adults. Now penalties for DUI or DWI can include fines, license suspension, and even imprisonment. So if you think you are drunk or over the limit, then don't walk back to your hotel or college or hostel. Instead, opt for a cab or a car ride from a trusted person who's not drunk. Never ride in a car with a drinking or a drunk driver. Here in the United States, there is also the concept of a designated driver, wherein one of the friends in the group volunteers to be a designated driver and does not consume alcohol or consumes within bounds and is sober and therefore can drive the group safely back to their home. So friends, please exercise caution and drink responsibly. Another rule is about the cell phone use. Many state laws have restrictions or in fact prohibit the use of cell phones while driving, particularly texting or talking without a hands-free device. Friends, it's also important to understand the concept of right of way. Here in United States, drivers must yield the right of way to number 1, pedestrians, emergency vehicles, and any other vehicles as might be required by traffic laws. Then friends, it is illegal to leave children unattended in the car. Then friends, in the United States, you'll see many stop signs. Whenever you see a stop sign, you must come to a complete halt and yield to the traffic with the right of way. Friends, remember these are general guidelines. It's always recommended to check the specific driving laws for the state you'll be driving in. You can find them on the websites of DMV for each and every state. Then comes health and safety regulations. Friends, before you travel, always make sure that you are informed about any health advisories, any vaccination requirements, or any safety precautions, especially if you're traveling during public health emergencies such as pandemics or natural disasters. Friends, another set of law relates to work laws. Please note that it is illegal to work in the United States without a proper valid authorization. That is, if you are on a visa which allows you to work in the United States, it is no problem. But if your visa doesn't provide you the authorization to work, then if you indulge in working just to earn a little bit money here and there, that would be illegal. Then we focus on the housing laws. Friends, you can rent a house or an apartment if you're visiting United States. When renting a house or apartment during your visit to the United States, it is essential to adhere to the rules and regulations of your accommodation, including paying rent on time and avoiding behavior that disturbs or harasses neighbors because it is illegal. There isn't a single federal law governing visitors' housing situations across the United States, so landlord-tenant agreements are significant, often outlining restrictions on visitors' length of stay and approval requirements for extended stays. Recognizing the difference between guests and tenants is crucial to avoid legal implications. Then friends, always be respectful of public spaces and noise levels. Public intoxication, disorderly conduct, vandalism are illegal and can get you in trouble. Then friends, let's look at laws related to drugs and illegal substances. Friends, in the United States, drug-related offenses are strictly enforced. there are strict penalties for drug-related offences, which includes not just the use but also possession and trafficking of illegal substances as well as marijuana. However, the rules regarding marijuana varies by state throughout the United States. The US federal law classifies marijuana as a Schedule 1 drug, meaning it has high potential for abuse and no accepted medical use, and thereby it prohibits the possession, use, or sale of marijuana. Therefore, at the federal level, marijuana is illegal. However, many states have enacted different laws as regards marijuana. Certain states have legalized it for medical use, while in some states it is legal for recreational use also. However, these states have regulations on the quantity and amounts that can be possessed, sold, and consumed by the public. Some states, on the one hand, have decriminalized marijuana, which means that possession of small amounts might result in a fine instead of an arrest, while few others have declared it as illegal. So friends, as you can see, even though the different states have different laws about marijuana, it is considered illegal under federal law, and therefore federal law enforcement can still take action, and anyone who is a visitor or has come temporarily to the United States can face immigration consequences. So friends, to summarize, any involvement in illegal drug use can result in severe consequences, including fines and imprisonment. So if someone is caught with drugs or associating with individuals possessing drugs, could also face legal repercussions. Friends, then let's look at hunting and fishing laws in the states. In the United States, hunting and fishing regulations are overseen by a complex system involving federal and state authorities, making it essential for tourists to understand the rules before engaging in these activities. Obtaining state-specific licenses is mandatory, and disregarding this requirement is illegal. Each state has its own regulations regarding hunting and fishing seasons, bag limits, and species restrictions, necessitating thorough research before embarking on any outdoor excursion. And talking about excursion, please remember littering is pretty much illegal throughout the United States. Although specific laws might vary depending upon the states where you are, if you litter large items or hazardous materials, or you litter from a moving vehicle, it would usually incur steeper fines or even jail time. And friends, we end with jaywalking. Now, what is jaywalking? Jaywalking typically involves pedestrians crossing a street in areas not intended for crossing and in a manner that ignores traffic rules. Friends, in most states and cities in the United States, jaywalking is considered an infraction, meaning it's a minor offense. So, while it's not the worst of the crimes, it can still lead to a fine. Generally, the police are more likely to target jaywalkers whose actions pose a danger to themselves or others. For example, jaywalking in the middle of a busy street is more likely to get a ticket than crossing a quiet side street with good visibility. Although a few states like California and Virginia have recently decriminalized jaywalking, making it no longer a ticketable offense, there are still a vast majority of states like New Jersey which still enforce laws against jaywalking. So friends, here are my 2 cents. It's always safer to follow designated pedestrian crossing when crossing the roads. Cross roads at designated crossings or only when all the traffic has come to a stop. This prevents unexpected surprises for drivers who may not anticipate pedestrians running across the road while they are driving. Safety should be a priority, especially when you are in a foreign country. And friends, speaking of New Jersey, it's important to note here that it's illegal to fill your own tank in New Jersey. So if you are traveling from Europe or elsewhere where you are used to filling your own tanks, be sure to let the gas station attendant handle this task for you, for it is illegal in New Jersey to fill your own tank. So, friends, in conclusion, prioritizing safety over assumptions is crucial when exploring the United States. Familiarizing yourself with essential laws and regulations is not just about legal compliance, but also about ensuring a safe, seamless, and enjoyable travel experience, not just for yourself, but also for your loved ones. From immigration procedures to road rules and alcohol regulations, being well informed can help you navigate unfamiliar territory with confidence. Remember, if you ever find yourself uncertain, always seek guidance from government official sources such as the US government or state government websites. And always make sure that you carry a copy of your passport and your visa with you at all times, and you also have the contact number of your embassy with you at all times. By respecting local laws and customs, you not only safeguard your own well-being, but also contribute to positive interactions and cultural understanding. So friends, here's wishing you all the very best on your upcoming travel journeys to the United States. Stay informed, stay safe, and embrace your journey responsibly. Safe travels!